The fuel cost charge at the moment is about 2 shillings and 50 cents. Without the hydros constitute only about 800 megawatts. Our total demand for the country is 1,900 megawatts. So we have to run the wind, which is 300 megawatts. We have to run the solar in Garissa, which is 54 megawatts. We have to do the thermal power plants. I mean, we have a station, 23 stations. I mean, in Wajir, Mandera, Turkana, we are running all of them collectively. And part of Mombasa, we still run some of the thermal power plants. That constitute only 2.5, as I've said. Without the hydros, which is 800 megawatts, and geothermal, which is about about 800 megawatts, then the fuel cost charge would have been about 5 shillings and above. So I mean, we are lucky for the one year. If you saw, it came down from 5 shillings. We are now at 2 shillings and 50 cents. That is the positive impact which under the circumstances we are in. But of course, we are still expanding. We still run a bit of a thermal in Moroni because of our transmission line from Olkaria and Lesos to Kisumu. We are getting about 50 megawatts from Uganda at 10 cents, which is cheap. So once that line is complete to Kisumu, the 60 megawatt power plant, which runs under diesel, we will have to stop it. So you can see the dynamics which are there, why we still have to run some of the thermal power plant.
Chesagon came up as a border town as a result of the perennial challenges, intercommunal challenges between West Pokot and Elgeyo Marakwet. Are we planning to relocate the town? Not yet, and I doubt. Because you see, this is a tragedy that has just happened, and as I said, when a tragedy has just happened, this is not the time to make hurried decisions and so on. Because this is a process that requires proper and effective consultation. Get the leaders involved, and the local communities come together and take decisions. You have noticed that by dint of the demands of our constitution and by dint of practice and the way our presidents have decided to govern, we want to govern in an inclusive and consultative manner. This is a matter on which we would like to have a conversation about before we talk about that. One tragedy will not make us take a very drastic decision like relocating a town or something like that. There are other ways of dealing with this matter, and we will deal with it. Do we have an update on what has happened overnight? As I said earlier, unfortunately, we lost 2 lives. You know, one of our police officers who was critically injured yesterday, unfortunately, very unfortunately, did not make it, succumbed overnight. And this morning we were able to pull out of the rubble and mud one other police officer whom we had not accounted for yesterday. And this is the update I have. Thirdly, our teams on the ground, led by the Regional Commissioner Rift Valley, Mr. Natembea, is conducting a census. Because, you know, when this happens, we need to conduct a census so that we have accurate figures of, you know, how many households are actually involved, how many people we cannot account for, so that the subsequent support activities are planned on the basis of accurate data, accurate information, and we know who has been involved. So by close of play today, we will get all the information we need of the census, but I have been reliably informed that nearly 400 or so households have been displaced in the process. The government is prepared to support the county governments of Elgeyo Marakwet and West Pokot to take care of our people. Lastly, are we going to keep moving people in Garissa, in Tana River, and so on from one end to another end? I am fairly averse to this question of saying, is the government going to buy land? Is the government, you know, our national budget is not a secret weapon. You look at our figures and you look at what we have. That is not the way to go. My brother Keriako Tobiko, our Minister for Environment, has talked about resilience, climate change and resilience that we need to build in the process of climate change. Some of these climatic challenges that we are facing are not going to go away tomorrow. It's upon us to develop systems across the board. National government working with county government, looking at the support we are getting from international agencies to build the resilience that we need to continue surviving here. How many people are you going to move around, my friend? Because you see, at one time we have certain spells of drought, at certain time we have flash floods, at certain times we have mudslides. I don't think the wise thing, and listening to my brother here and my colleagues from the Ministry of Environment, the wise thing is not talk about looking for resources so that you buy and move people from point A to point B. Our way out of this is building very sustainable systemic resilience where we are able to deal with these changes, you know, when they come, ensure that we don't lose lives and we don't lose livelihoods in the process. And that is the trajectory on which we are. Cabinet has passed the climate change bill. Our Ministry of Environment is actually drawing down on frameworks that were established jointly together with the UNEP. That is now the focus of our investment through the Ministry of Environment, and we'll continue working on this as we go along. That, I think, is a long-term solution to this, not, the temporary shifting of people from this